we opened the floor to some more interesting decks, and I'm not going to lie, I am not disappointed with the content that we've been getting so far. So, what is up, guys? I'm Uncle 40 here. We actually had this submitted through Facebook. We were talking about wanting to feature a couple of new decks for the new format, and this was sent in, and it piqued my interest because this is a variant on Hat. And going into this format, a lot of people were like, well, you know what, fuck it, like, we're gonna give Hat a try because, you know, in order to honor a long-forgotten duelist named Corey McDuffie, Hat has been one of those decks that has been predominant, you know. It was Fire Hand, Ice Hand, the Traptrix engine, and the Artifact engine. Well, now that Moraltech has returned to the game at maximum power, we now have the ability to re-explore the beautiful confines of this. So, without further ado, it is another beautiful day in Philadelphia, as I like to say. So once again, thanks David for sending this in, and let's dig into this. So, one copy of the new artifact, what is it, Miagnia? It's basically Thor's hammer. But if this set card is destroyed, you can special summon it. If this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, you can target one artifact in your graveyard and special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters until the end of the next turn, except for artifacts. Basically, it paralyzes you from making things. Now, the first thing you're going to ask yourself when looking at this, there is none of the one that actually destroys back row. Never fucking remember this guy's name. I believe it is Bageltech. Yeah, Bageltech. We're not playing this at the moment. So if you dead draw these, you're going to have to rely on Ignition to resolve them. And then triple Moraltech, 2 Scythe, 2 Draw and Lockbird, triple Dionea, triple Myromelio, 2 Atrax, and 2 Garnet. Spells, 2 Artifact Ignition, triple Brilliant Fusion, 1 Foolish Barrow, 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Scapegoats, triple Sanctum, 2 Back to the Front, triple Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Call of the Haunted, 1 Solemn Judgment, and triple Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. Now, a few things I want to point out about the main deck. He is relying on the Scapegoat engine to establish linked monsters, which is honestly fine. I don't see any real issue with that. You might want to consider 3 because you are an anti-meta deck. One of the initial things that I definitely think that you're going to try to get the most value out of is Scapegoat. Also, evenly matched hurts this deck like a motherfucker, especially if you're dead setting artifacts, trying to rely on them. Also, the fact that Bageltech isn't really in here. If you dead draw these, well, once again, time to cry because you have to wait on this to show up. Draw and Lockbird is your hand trap. I'm not really quite sure how I feel about this. I'm an Ash Blossom kind of guy. I understand that, like, paralyzing your opponent from searching is fine, but the way that I feel that this is being approached is you want to resolve Brilliant Fusion, you want to dump. Your best case scenario is you Dionea out a Myromelio, or you're using this as a capitalization to basically extend your board plays into having 2 normal summons. Now, I don't know how often that's going to come, because I feel like, what is it, your best case scenario is you want to end on some way to get into Rafflesia, to just kind of set up and paralyze your opponent. Not having that second back half of the engine seems like it really hurts. And David said that his testing was going, well, it was going well enough for him to send in the list. We'll go with that. So bear that in mind if you're going to mess around with this. I know a lot of people can be like, well, 2 Garnets is a brick. I understand that. A lot of people do. You can cut it down to 1. There's also no desires in the build, no dualities or things like that. I think those would be things I would kind of want to edge myself into looking at a concept like this. Anyway, the extra deck, 1 Seraph Knight, 1 Durandal, 1 Utopia, 1 Baguska, 1 Utopia Lightning, 2 Rafflesia, 1 Zenmayo, 1 Borreload, 1 Decode Talker, 1 Gaia Saber, 2 Link Spider, 1 Mrs. Radiant, 1 Proxy Dragon. And then the side deck, just 3 Lancia so far. Going forward, when approaching this, I would definitely put Evenlease in the side. I think you can honestly afford to cut these out for Ash Blossoms. I don't see any... I understand the value of where you're coming from with wanting this, but you're going to try to kill your opponent, and you're trying to rely on trap holes to do it. Nephthys as your other hand trap, or your other Traptrix monster, getting to add or special summon one Traptrix from your deck. This is honestly fine. Just once again, you're capitalizing on your, oh cool, I opened up Brilliant Fusion, dump away, you get into this, you special summon and move on along with your day. And remember, when this is normal summon, you can beat on another one, and then when Myromelia is normal summon, you get to set a trap hole, and if it's special summon, you get to pop a back row. I mean, it's literally value. And then when Diana special summon, you get to set a trap card, one of your holes from your graveyard back onto your field. So general recursion there. I mean, like, honestly, how much you're going to go about that, I don't actually think it's going to happen. This particular build seems a little bit slower. I like the initial concept that he had proposed for this, but the side deck needs a little bit of work, and I definitely think that Desires, if not Duality, would be something I'd want to go in for, because we're going to shuffle up and look at some of the hands here. Just to kind of give you an idea of kind of what we're looking at here for your standard hands. Now, once again, we opened Garnet. This, I almost want to say, like, is the Fire and Ice Hand engine not worth giving consideration towards? Especially if you're going, like, battle phase, attacking and killing something. The best of this hand literally gives you is set 3, and you debate what you're doing with the Garnet. This was just a brick. I understand what he wants to do with this engine, but it just doesn't seem like it's worth it in the end. Here, once again, you open up Brilliant Fusion, but where are you combo extending with this at the moment? You know, like, I don't get any value outside of, oh, cool, I get to make a Seraph Knight, I contribute it from Morale Attack, like, woohoo, value. You know, you cut one engine for another. We open up Draw and Lockbird, Morale Attack, but Brilliant Fusion is just being dead. Literally in every hand I've seen so far. This hand, this is one of those cases to where, like, having the Bagel Tech in the deck as a one-of might not be a bad consideration, because I did drew the Scythe, so I can't really do much with this. Also, I'm trap holed out of my mind for days, and we're going to have to do something about... This is also why I think the third Scapegoat might be a little bit better as well for the conceptual theory. Once again, hey, I love Dead Draw and Garnet. Moving on along with my day. Hey, I love Dead Draw and Garnet. Moving along with my day. Oh boy, I love Dead Draw and Garnet. Moving along with my day. It's almost like Garnet loves me. So the good thing with this, the only other good scenario with Brilliant Fusion is this scenario right here. If I drop it off of Brilliant Fusion, I can bring it back with Back to the Front or Call the Haunted. That's the only other inherent value that I could see out of wanting to play the Brilliant Fusion engine. But then again, I Brilliant Fusion and dead drop off my artifact. Then what? And I set 3. Cool, my opponent beats down my Seraph Knight, moves along with your day. Like, the value that you are trying to put on the artifact engine in this deck, it just seems like there are better engines in the current game that you can play with this, and just cut this engine out of your deck in general, and just play a better version of Hat without Brilliant Fusion engine. Just because it grants you an additional normal summon doesn't mean that it's good. You know, it doesn't mean that it says it's broken. It's just my 2 cents on that matter. I like the concept. I really do. Work, refinement, you know, I like to do these things and approach new formats like this for discussion pieces like this. But Desires, Duality, cards that generate advantage, not be dead in the deck, are definitely things to approach in this. It's a cool concept, it really is, but will it win an event? No. Fire and Ice Hand, I think, are better alternatives. I think there are better 1900 search engines out there that would be more beneficial. Hell, Assault Blade, for what is it, Heroic Champions, I've seen being used in Stun decks in the OCG just to generate advantage and recruit for other pieces. I think that's just a better search engine. You can cut these out for 3 of those and, what, 2 Desires? Seems good to me. So what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. I love theory crafting and things like this. Don't think we're gonna get into the deck fixing department all the time. This is just one of those interesting scenarios. So, alright guys, I'm out. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.